about living a good life.
We're here with Matt Savage, who just did a fantastic concert for the Moore Center.
Oh, thank you.
It was wonderful, Matt. And I think people have been asking me to ask you questions all night, so I'm going to ask you a few of them. And the first one that someone asked is, how did you talked a little bit about how you got interested in music, because when you were very young, you didn't like music or loud sounds or any sounds. Is that true?
That is true.
So how did you make that transition into where you were when you were very young to at age you were taking piano lessons?
Well, I remember there was a toy xylophone piano in my parents' house that I used to pick out my first nursery rhymes, etc., because there was like a color-coded book. And then that same week, I took piano lessons for the first time, and then when I first got started in jazz, I remember being shown some classic jazz records like Miles Davis and John Coltrane. And initially I liked it because the songs were all long and fast, and I liked big numbers. But then I eventually grew to like the improvisation and the freedom, and I'm still playing jazz today, although I've updated my style a lot over the years.
And do you just play jazz, or can you?
Well, I primarily do jazz piano, although I'm kind of starting a jazz funk group this fall, so I'm excited for that.
That's awesome. And, well, how many people will be in that group?
Well, right now it's a quintet plus maybe a guest or two, but it's sort of a collective.
And is that an actual form of music, or are you creating that?
Well, yes and no. There's definitely, when the music is improvisational, it can take many different directions.
Now, when you talked about not liking music when you were very, very young, was it that you didn't like music, or you just didn't like loud, jarring noises?
I just didn't like the loud noises.
Okay.
I remember my mom once told me that she would play music for me occasionally. It just had to be really quiet and exactly at the right time.
One of the things that you said that really interested me was even today you have trouble making eye contact, or it feels uncomfortable, or it takes a lot of energy. Is that true?
Yeah, it doesn't really feel uncomfortable for me specifically. It just takes a lot of energy.
Yeah. And it takes practice too, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Because, I think that, when I think of all the people I spoke to tonight and you spoke to tonight, I wonder how many we actually made eye contact with.
That is
Probably
true.
Not every single one of them. So when you went to college, you said that took a bit of an adjustment.
Oh, it certainly did. Like I knew my academic life well, but I didn't really know my social life well for the longest time. Like I didn't know what group I belonged to.
Okay. And where do you stand with that now?
Well, right now I've just finished Berklee College of Music and Manhattan School of Music, and right now I'm living in Boston and teaching in Newton and traveling all over New England and internationally, and a bunch of random destinations, all to spread the music. And I'm really excited to be doing what I do.
Yeah, you're very fortunate to be doing what you're doing, all the traveling.
Oh, thank you.
It's pretty exciting. I know when I'm in a city, because I grew up in the country like you in New Hampshire, then there's so many things that are distracting us, like noises and cars tooting their horns and ambulances. And is that still jarring for you, or have you just gotten acclimated to it? Because I'm not acclimated to it. I find it jarring.
Well, I find it jarring too, but I've been completely acclimated to it for the longest time, actually, because even as a teenager growing up on the farm, I would go to New York all the time. What I wasn't used to is the social life, because you have to interact with people completely differently, dress differently, and you get to try all cool different kinds of foods. So that's what I wasn't prepared for.
Yeah.
So, but it's been the best experience so far. Like I'm always going back and forth between Boston and New York. Those are my two homes.
Okay. And how do you get gigs? How do you get, how do you book performances?
Well, I have an agent who helps me out, but really it's all about getting to know somebody and having a desire to really set up an event.
Okay. One of the things you talked about was teaching piano, I think, to kids with autism
Yep.
in Boston. What's that like for you?
It's really been a rewarding experience because since I've worked so long with these kids already, I've really gotten to know how they learn music and what I can do to encourage their favorite musical styles, etc.
And do you feel like they are able to relate to you any differently because you had autism?
Well, I haven't really talked a whole lot personally just yet with the kids, but I should get to know them and talk about where they are.
Where do you think your music career is going to go? Not physically, but I mean, what direction are you moving musically?
Well, I want to do more of the crossover projects, but I also want to continue doing solo piano, which I've been working on a lot recently. Because when you're playing alone, you can really micromanage the tempo and the harmonies, so it opens up a lot of possibilities.
And when you imagine what you'll be doing 5 years from now or 10 years from now, do you have any dreams that come true yet?
Well, everybody wants to do big stadium tours, but that takes a while.
I wouldn't rule it out. I definitely wouldn't rule it out.
Oh, thank
So
you.
that's something that you would like to see happen.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Do you sing by any chance?
Well, I don't usually sing when I play, but I've worked with singers a lot.
Okay.
And I'm also in the process of releasing a new album. It's a piano-based duo album, which I haven't done before, and it was recorded when I was in Japan in September. It's under the bassist's name. Shota Ishikawa was his name.
Okay.
So he's my friend from Berkeley who lives in Japan, and
Interesting.
so I'm so glad that we got to do this.
Is that the Japan connection? A friend?
Yep, this bass player friend invited me.
Wonderful. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming.
You
My
are
last
so welcome.
question was really, do you think that you have something to contribute to groups like the Moore Center, and do you have a message that you...
Well, the message I want to send is that
Yeah.
anything is possible, and the arts really help that change because it really gives people a reason to continue their passions.
Right. As I listened to you perform tonight, I was thinking of all the people that we serve at the Moore Center, and our slogan is to create an opportunity for a good life, recognizing that everybody has a right for a good life, but also
Absolutely.
desires a good life, and so it's everyone's idea of what's a good life is different. And so yours is to do what you're doing, and the fact that you're getting to do what you want to do, I think, sends a message of hope to lots of people and families too. When you were talking about some of the things that you've been able to do, you've been on a lot of TV shows that everyone would recognize. What are some of them?
Well, I've been on Late Show with David Letterman, Late Night with Conan O'Brien, The Today Show, The View, and a couple of others.
Is that stressful?
Well, it's a lot of preparation, but the interviews are pretty short because it's TV.
Right.
So, but they are life-changing, definitely.
And so they talk to you a little while and then you play something?
Yeah, that's what I've usually done.
And do you have any showbiz stories or?
Well, Conan O'Brien was a really nice guy.
He was?
And they were all really nice people, but Conan really talked to me like I was his best friend.
Really? So would you say that was your favorite?
One of them. I have a bunch of favorites.
That's good not to rule anybody. keep everyone as a possible favorite. So
They're all favorites.
yeah, good for you, Matt.
Thank you.
Well, I envy all the opportunities you've had. Thank you again.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure.
It's all about living a good life.